Well, here we go, lads and lasses, back at it again. Newcastle United, of course, play on Saturday, 8 o'clock kickoff, and we are up against, of course, Manchester City. Once again, this is the third time that we will be playing Manchester City this season, or fourth time probably, if you want to class the two semi-final games, of course. So this is again another chance for us to beat, hopefully, Man City after, of course, what was a pretty annoying League Cup semi-final two-legged tie against them. Of course, one at St James's, one at the Etihad, losing the St James's 1-2-0 and losing the Etihad one, of course, 3-1. We have beaten them this season in the other games. Of course, a 2-1 win with Harvey Barnes scoring both goals at St James's Park. And now we are in the league game again as we take them on down at the Etihad. Now, looking at it, of course, going into this one, Man City have had a chance to rest. They have had a chance to, of course, prepare for this game and have a bit of a break before, of course, coming into this game. As we had, of course, the midweek trip yesterday, of course, as I record this, the day after we've just played Qarabag in the Champions League knockout playoffs. Of course, first leg out in Azerbaijan, 5,000 mile trip, of course, for that one. And we thoroughly beat Azerbaijan's Qarabag side, of course, with a 6-1 defeat. Anthony Gordon firing on all cylinders in that. Go check out my match reaction on that on the channel. But we're going to this game against a Manchester City side that are right behind Arsenal in the Premier League title race. They will be wanting to get them 3 points, and we, of course, will have the mission of stopping City from doing that. Of course, however, looking at the officials, in the way they've officiated this game in the past 3 meetings that we've had against them, of course, this season already, it's not great when it comes to the officials. We have had a lot of problems with that, with this game against Manchester City. And of course, this time around, it will be Thomas Bramall, the Sheffield Whistler, returns for his third Toon game of the season following the 2-2 Premier League, of course, home draw against Spurs, and apparently FA Cup shootout triumph over, of course, Bournemouth, that followed with a 3-3 draw. So that, looking at the results from them games, doesn't bode very well, though. However, I would happily take a point down at the Etihad if it was offered to it. At the end of the day, it's getting something on the board positive instead of, coming away from the Etihad with a defeat. But we do want to get the 3 points. We don't want to be coming away from the Etihad with nothing. So, bare minimum, a point would be great, but we want to go there and we want to get the 3 points. And with the way we've been playing of late on the road, we're putting in some good performances of late for, of course, away games. We're winning the past 3. We'll beat Spurs, of course, at theirs 2-1. We'll beat Villa at theirs 3-1. And then the Qarabag game, of course, last night, which was a 6-1 win for us. And, that is a positive to look at, that we are starting to get some momentum in them away games. But looking at it as well, we've still got the injury problems. We're still going to be without the likes of Bruno in there and a number of other first team players. There hasn't been much of a change, to be honest, on the injury list since the game against Qarabag and what I was seeing in that preview going into that one. Trippier, of course, is 1 appearance away from reaching 150 appearances in all competitions for us. And Jacob Murphy, who scored in the game against Qarabag, of course, last night, is 1 appearance away from reaching 250 games in all competitions for us. Now, going into this game, of course, we'll want to see the lads going in with a positive mentality and coming off the back of a 6-1 win against Qarabag in the Champions League, 5,000 miles away from home. That's got to boost the confidence in the lads. And I think, it will be a tight game. hopefully we'll have enough in the tank to come away from this game with the result that we want, which is obviously the 3 points, because it would push we up the table closer to them European places once again. But I think it's going to be a very tight game, and I think, unfortunately, I think Man City's probably going to edge it against we. I hate to say that, because, you know, I want to see we get the positive result. I want to see we come away from there Etihad with the win, or even just a point. But I think it's going to be Man City coming away with, you know, the win against we, unfortunately. And I think it's going to be a pretty tight scoreline. However, I think it's going to be something like a 2-1, maybe it's to Man City. I hate to go against the lads, but I think that is unfortunately what it's going to be. But I want to stay positive, so I want to say, you know, that we could come away with the win if we're going there with the right mentality. But if we don't go in there with the right mentality, then I can't see any other way other than Man City coming away from this one with the win, unfortunately. So I'm going to say, if we're going with the right mentality, we'll come away with a 2-1 win. If we're going there, you know, with our heads at a loss, then, you know, Man City come away with a 2-1 win. I know I hate to sit on the fence on this one, but let us know what you think down in the comments below. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. However, that's.